I am a huge horror fan, so I was very excited to talk to you about this. I watched the film. It's really great. I'm curious, were you a fan of the original film before joining Chapter One? Like, how familiar were you with that franchise?
Also a really big horror fan. I watched every horror film on my local Blockbuster as a kid. It was like my mission. I think I finished in ninth grade. And The Strangers 2008 Brian Bertino version was my favorite horror film of all time. So when I
Mm.
got sent the script, I was like, if anyone's gonna do it, it's got to be me.
The Strangers franchise has really been terrifying audiences for years now. What do you think it is about these films that just makes them so popular?
I wonder this a lot. I think what works for me, and I can only speak for that, is that they don't need a reason is a really
Mhm.
scary tagline for murderers. Like, you look at Freddy Krueger, he has his reasoning, Michael Myers has his reasoning. Like, these are just regular people who happen to put masks on a Sunday and kill somebody and then take the mask off and have like a regular job. And I think that that's kind of what resonates with horror fans is that it's just really bone chilling and it could really happen. Freddy Krueger is somebody who comes into your nightmares. Like, this could genuinely happen. A home invasion film, the original was so real. I mean,
Mhm.
they just like showed up at the windows and started terrorizing these random people. That I think is what makes it so scary.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking back to that scene with Liv Tyler in the bathroom where she just opens the curtains and he's like right there.
I
I
mean,
think I was like
what's
the only
funny
one
is
that
like
screamed in the theater for that.
you can't do that anymore. Like everyone thinks now there's going to be something in the bathtub because of that scene. So you can't do
Right.
that anymore. You've got to be more inventive. But back then it was like you'd never seen it before.
Is that how you kind of feel about the genre in general,
I mean, the
or?
horror audience has sophisticated so much.
Mhm.
I mean, they're probably some of the smartest genre audiences that we have right now. And I mean, I know why I love horror and why I think it's doing well is because it's like the only genre in American cinema that takes real risk. You have to make your own rules of the world and you have to follow them as an audience member. So it keeps your attention and it's different. And it can be genre bending and world bending, whereas, a drama or a rom-com tends to be a little bit more formulaic.
So getting into now the film, the movie picks up right where chapter one kind of left off. How quickly did you have to drop back into that headspace emotionally? I mean, did you shoot these films back to back?
We shot them all at once. So I'd shoot
Oh
like movie
wow.
three in the morning, movie one in the afternoon, kind of stuff.
Wow. Whoa. Oh wow. So you
We
shot them all out of
cross-ported.
order. Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like nothing's ever chronological in filmmaking,
Right.
but you're usually making one movie. This was three movies
hmm
that were not chronological.
Did that get confusing at all? Like keeping up with storylines? You're like, wait, which one are we in?
I looked at it as one long movie because, like you said, movie two picks up where movie one left off, and the same
hmm
is true for movie two to movie three. So it is kind of just like one 4.5 hour long film, which then I'm just doing my job as a regular actor
Right.
in terms of tracking. But I mean, the first scene I ever shot is the opening scene of movie two.
Wow,
And
really?
that was really tough because
Yeah.
I just spend so much time with like, who was this person before all this stuff happened? I've got to really carve that out so I know what her reaction would be to all of this stuff when she wakes up in the hospital.
And you know what I loved about that hospital scene was it kind of felt like, especially because we're chapter two, right? The second one, it felt kind of like an homage
For
to,
Halloween.
yep, Halloween
Too.
too, right?
Yeah.
You know, John Carpenter starting out in the
Yeah.
hospital. So, I mean, throughout the film, you're putting, well, I guess all the films in the series, but you're putting some really intense situations. How do you prepare emotionally for those darker scenes? Is there a trick you use to kind of get yourself into character quickly?
I think every scene is unique. I have to, there's different ways I have to get there for every different scenario, but I think the most important thing is like, I really need to keep the tension between takes. That's really
hmm
important to me and like not break character, go talk about my friend or like grab my phone and check my phone. Like that's the most important thing to me is to feel really immersed in the world when I'm on set. I'd say that's probably the biggest rule I have when I'm shooting is like phones off, not talking about anything unless it's about what's actually happening on set right now, notes from the director, whatever. Um, and like a ton of preparation. I do like a lot of notes and preparation before I shoot something so that when I get to set, I know where I was the second before this, the minute before this, the day before this, like so that I have all the information that the character would have.
Totally. What I thought was also really cool in terms of it's just for a performer, for an actor, is, you know, since we follow you so much of the film and a lot of it you're by yourself, there's very little dialogue.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean there's very little acting going on. I mean, as an actor, how do you use your body and movement to kind of communicate the fear? I mean, you talked about wanting to keep the tension building in between scenes. So walk me through a little bit about how you did that.
None of what I did physically was intentional. Like I didn't think about it before I did it. I just needed to be in the moment of what was going
Hmm.
on. That was most important to me. But I would like, in those more intense scenes where I'm running or I'm fighting something or killing something or whatever, I couldn't break character in between takes and setups.
Hmm.
Like that was the most important thing to me. But my body, I mean, it goes through the ringer in this movie and I walked away with a lot of bruises, but I didn't do anything in particular to be physical. It is actually like looking, I watched it last night on a big screen with a premiere audience, and I didn't realize
Hmm.
just how little I spoke in this film. And honestly, I'm so thankful we shot all three at once because I think if I would have gotten the script for two after shooting one, I would have been like, how do I do this? But
Right.
because we shot everything so out of order, I think I shot there's one chunk of time where like I don't speak for probably 20 or 30 minutes. There's not a single word. Maybe like I mutter a fuck or I like grunt or something or I cry. And I
Hmm.
think it was less intimidating walking into the material because there was so much story smushed around it. It was like a sandwich.
You also mentioned this, I saw at Comic-Con. There was something about, I'm paraphrasing, but you wanting to actually experience the stunts and the chases and all these physical scenes so you could portray those emotions authentically. I mean, is that something that helps your process on any project, or was it specific to the horror genre?
I am one of those people who really wants to get my hands in and be the character to the best of my ability. So even on Maintenance Required, which comes out on Amazon next month,
Hmm.
character's a mechanic, and like they were like, we can get you a hand double if you want. And I was like, no, teach me what I need to do because my character would be doing it. I mean, it'd be
Right.
really impossible for me to be sitting here having an authentic conversation with you and like messing around with, it's like a carburetor and not knowing what it is and what I'm doing to take it apart. Like that's really important to me to remain authentic in my performance. So to the best of my ability, I try to do stunts and things like that as long as it's safe and within reason.
Hmm.
I've gotten better with the safe part as I got later in my career. At the beginning, I'd be like, "Yep, I'll jump in right now," and they're like, "Hey, no, like we have a stunt." You know what I mean? Like because I'm like
Right.
so gun ho about things, and when you're in the moment, you also want to protect your performance. Like somebody
Mm.
being you with, and there people are gonna walk away thinking that was you, and it gets a little tricky. So I mean, I try to the best of my ability, do as much as I can.
Another thing is just in the horror genre in general with the a final girl is that there's a lot of screaming. But what I feel like is that people who think screaming, I'm going to be loud, that's easy. No, screaming is a challenge, right? I mean, how do you perfect the perfect horror movie scream? Do you practice a lot?
I don't know why this question comes up so much, and the answer is no, but I did a lot of screaming on Riverdale. A lot. In fact,
Yeah.
once I was asked to go into ADR and do a 15 or 17-second scream for like they wanted to do a transition of like my big mouth screaming into something else. So I mean, like in terms of that, I feel like I had boot camp and screaming on that show.
Was there a scene that scared you the most on the page? And then what did it feel like to get through it on the day?
Yeah, there's a scene where I sew myself up and I was so intimidated by the material because it was probably 3 pages of stage direction, no dialogue whatsoever, and my wound is bleeding out and I have to sew myself up. And I was like, this is literally just me, my emotions, and a camera this close to me, with no dialogue to lean on or anything to lean on. So I was very, very scared of it. And we did 13-minute takes. I think it made like a minute and 45 seconds in the film. I would love to put out one of the like 9 to 13 minute takes one day because I'm really proud of it. But I think I honestly kind of blacked out. I was so scared shooting that I was like, I just need to like not be Madelaine and not be in my own head and just like jump into this. And thankfully I had a wound on set that was so well done that the bleeding was practical. It
Wow.
really helped inform my performance because if that was all VFX, it would have been a lot tougher, I think, as an artist.
You kind of mentioned about like bringing yourself into it, but what part of Maya felt the most like you in real life, and what part felt the most opposite?
She's really, when she's not being attacked in the beginning, she's pretty quick. And I tend to speak quite quickly and to think quickly. So I think I brought that part of myself to her. Like she like talks back and she's spicy with her partner. I think in terms of opposite, there's a lot of things that Maya does once she's being quiet, like her survival is being questioned that I don't know if I could do.
Mhm.
And you know what, though? I think she probably would say the same thing at the beginning of movie one. And when you're put in the circumstances, I think you'd be surprised what you're willing to do and what you would actually do, but probably kill. would be the craziest difference.
Yeah.
Myself killing anyone.
Right, right. Rennie Harlan directed this film. Talk to me a little bit about his process. I mean, would you say it was a collaborative experience?
Very collaborative. When I met with Rennie and Courtney on Zoom before. That was like how we kind of all became acquainted. And I came with like 20 pages of notes to my Zoom, my first time ever meeting them, like no audition, just this meeting. And I was like, hey, I love the original a lot. I have about 20 pages of thoughts and questions. Can we talk about them? And they both were like, absolutely. Please tell us what
Mm,
you think. What do you? And I think that's really rare. I try to read the room when it comes to things like that. Obviously, I'm not going to do that to every meeting, but they were very clearly looking for a third partner in this. And I was definitely treated like that on this trilogy of films. I'm very lucky to have been championed in the way that I was creatively.
So, like these, very intense scenes, but then they call cut, you wrap, you go home. How do you personally come down from the adrenaline after a day of filming all of these intense moments?
I'm really not good at that. It's been a
Yeah.
question that's come up a lot. I don't have a method. We did enhancement shoots for movie 3 in April of this year. And I think I had one of the worst panic attacks of my life after shooting a really intense scene. And I don't think and we ended up, we started at like maybe 3 p.m. that day and wrapped at like 11 a.m. the next day. It was a crazy day.
Wow.
And I think I was up all day the following day. I'm not good at it. I don't have coping mechanisms yet. I'm still, I guess, a baby when it comes to that.
I know that we're starting to enter in spoilers, so we'll edit it around this. But I saw after the film is over, right? We see kind of a teaser for chapter 3,
You do? Of
and I'm pretty sure we see you with the killers wearing a mask. Can you tease anything about the third installment?
course I can. That's what I'm here for, Scott.
Yeah.
Um, the third installment it goes in places I don't think anyone ever expected it to go, which and I also feel that way about number two, which is why I'm excited for people to finally see these two. Um, and yeah, you absolutely do see a clip of Maya with the stranger's mask on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Pay
definitely caught
attention
my
to her hands
attention.
when you see the clip, though.
Hands, interesting. I will. I'll go back and look at that.
Okay.
Um, Besides the Strangers films, what are some of your favorite scary movies?
The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah,
I love. I don't know if you can call Swallow a horror film, but I just love that movie. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't actually.
About a woman who's got an oral fixation, so she swallows objects she shouldn't. So like she swallows like thumbtacks and stuff.
Yikes.
It's really,
Swallow.
it's really, it's I mean, it's really crazy. Um, I love Climax by Gaspar Noé.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm talking about a lot of foreign films because I think that foreign cinema takes a lot of risks, and especially with genre films like horror, that's where what you want to see is risk. In terms of like
Totally.
more traditional horror, I love like the original Scream films. Like
Me too.
working with Skeet was crazy. Like I was like when I first started
Oh,
working,
that's right. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's not Skeet. Like that's fucking insane.
That's Billy Loomis.
That's Billy Loomis.
Yeah.
That clip of him licking the blood off of his fingers when I was like 16, I was like, ah. Uh, I have a soft spot in my heart for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm.
Not really sure why. I just think they're so fun.
Both of them are Wes Craven, maybe.
I never even made that connection. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I actually really love? This is crazy.
What?
Wrong Turn. One, two, three, four.
Yeah,
I
Wrong
ride
Turn is
hard for
great.
Wrong Turn. I ride hard. In fact, there was one night I was in London shooting a movie and my best friend had come to visit me. And I was like, let's put on a movie to go to sleep. And I'm like asleep with this. She's never heard of it. She's like, Wrong Turn. Okay, I'm sleeping. She's like, I woke up and there were cannibals eating people and there were bones packing around. And she's like, how'd you sleep peacefully through that? I was like, I've seen it so many times. It's like
Yeah.
a sleep movie for me.
My second to last question is, which co-star would you trust the most if you had to hide from a real life masked killer?
I have to ask qualifying questions. Am I trusting them because they're with me or I'm telling them where they are?
Yes,
Where I
they
am?
are with you.
Oh,
Who do you
huh.
trust the most to lead you to safety?
Oh, that's tough. I feel like probably Cole Sprouse
Hmm.
in terms of like safety and like being savvy and I mean, that man knows how to pick locks and he did that for his fun in his spare time. Like that's the kind of
Yeah.
stuff he does. So like that to me feels very like Cole could save me.
And then finally, of all the three masks in the Strangers film, which one is your favorite?
I think the pinup mask, it's just like, this is a weird thing to say, but it's like girly and cute,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Although I do like the scarecrow mask in the film, it fits his head so perfectly that it really is scary because the way it like it kind of peeks out from the nose, it's really a well done mask.
Well, I think if I saw any of them in real life, I'd freak out. So,
Why don't
yeah.
we test that theory, Scott?
Yeah, we should.
Look, I'm outside your window
Uh,
right now.
yeah,
What would you
and here
do
they
if a stranger
are.
disappeared behind me?
No.
Would you try to save me or would you just leave it?
I would say this is some really great marketing for that.
Next time.
Yeah. Well, Madeline, this has been great. I really, really appreciate your time, and I really did love the film. So
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see the third one.
Thank you. I'm excited for you to see it.
Absolutely.